you play Force of Will and Wasteland. And we're like, yeah, we do. And
he has McCrackens. I'll get it to you in a minute.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
This is the rest of the top 8 if you want.
Awesome.
And I was like, and I play Brainstorm. And, we can add Dark Confidant to that list, and Jerry plays all 4 of those.
All right.
So, thank you.
All right, well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the quarterfinals of the Star City Games Open Series here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined here by Drew Levin, who played in this event. And we're going to watch a really interesting matchup here between Adam Kai and Blake McCracken. On your right, Blake McCracken, an affinity player. He designed a mono-red control deck that got 9th place yesterday, featuring Kuldotha Phoenix. Today, he came back with an affinity deck that has 4 Tezzerets, 0 Arcbound Ravagers, 0 Arcbound Workers, no Disciple of Vaults. He's just on a completely different plan, and he's been doing really well in this event. Made it right into top 8, first seed after top 8, but his opponent's not going to make it easy for him. Adam Kai playing lands. Lands is going to be a rough matchup for Blake. Now, the way the lands deck works is it's got, I haven't counted how many lands are here, but there are a ton of lands. There's at least 30, I think, right? Do you know how many lands are in Adam's deck?
I think 35.
35? Okay.
9, 12, 15, 16, 22, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 34.
34 lands in Adam Kai's deck. So he's got plenty of lands, but all of his lands most of the lands have special abilities.
Oh, sorry, 35, Cabal Pit.
Oh, there's a Cabal Pit chilling down there. So yeah, 35. So most of his lands have special abilities. He has Mishra's Factory for man lands, Wastelands to strip mine his opponent off lands, Rishon Port to keep them down on lands 2, Maze of Ith to control creatures, Tabernacle Pendrel Veil, which is the key card to watch in this matchup, I feel, for Adam Kai. Makes all the creatures essentially how you have to pay 1 during their upkeep or they die, which is going to be a big problem for Affinity.
And all of the creatures have that ability. Their owner actually controls that, which is an interesting thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. Karakas, Volrath Stronghold, Academy Ruins, Glacial Chasm, another key card in this matchup. Riftstone Portal, some fetch lands, and then for the spell base we have Neither Reliquary, Eternal Witness, Exploration, Mox Diamond, Crop Rotation, Engineered Explosives.
2 Engineered Explosives.
Life from the Loam, Intuition, Worm Harvest, and Crucible of Worlds. So we feel like the key cards in this matchup for Adam Kai are Tabernacle and Glacial Chasm. They can just keep his opponent from attacking is good, except for one little wrinkle. Blake has Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus in his deck, and if he gets to go ultimate with that guy, it's just, can be easily 16, 18, 20 points just straight like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. The way we thought about it, we've talked about the matchup a lot. I feel like if Blake gets a fast draw with Tezzeret, he's going to be able to pull ahead, but if Adam is able to establish any kind of control, it's going to be a big problem for Mr. McCracken.
Yeah, and Blake's biggest problem, really, is that he has 16 lands. They're all non-basic, and he has 3 Springleaf Drum, 4 Mox Opal, and then 4 Vault of the Whispers and 4 Seed of the Synod as ways to make colored mana.
Now, worth noting, though, is the Darksteel Citadel can't be killed by Wasteland, which is important.
Right.
Which can temper some of those Wasteland-heavy draws. Okay, so Blake leads on a Swamp. Adam Kai played Eternal One Mishra's Factory. It looks nice. I think it's extended art.
Yeah, no, Adam Kai's deck is absolutely gorgeous. So he has Vault of Whispers into Signal Pest.
Probably not the start he was looking for here. I feel like Signal Pest is not... I mean, it's really good if you have like a super fast start, but with only 1 creature on turn 1, that's not what it's looking like. Adam Kai deliberately playing all of his lands, as you often have to do in the lands deck. And there's a Rishadon Port, which will probably lock down Blake's Vault of Whispers in his upkeep. Yep, there it goes. Adam Kai knows all he has to do is buy enough time, and he'll be able to defeat the Affinity draw with a Tabernacle or a Glacial Chasm. And here comes Blinkmoth Nexus, and it's probably going to bring Springleaf Drum out. Yep, there's the drum. And he taps the drum in the past to get a mana and casts another Springleaf Drum. So Blake has ways to get around on mana here. I think his hand is a Thoughtcast and Mirror Enforcer, and I couldn't quite catch the last card.
So, really importantly, Adam opened on Mishra's Factory, which is going to provide a way of fighting the key card in this matchup, Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas.
Right. I mean, if Adam gets to Tabernacle away most of Blake's creatures, Mishra's Factory can just peck away to Tezzeret, even if Blake's fortunate enough to have one.
Right.
Is that a crop rotation?
That's a Windswept Heath that's probably going to get
Okay.
Savannah.
I thought he dropped another card with that Windswept Heath to do it all in one process, but no. So getting Savannah.
Oh, yeah, that's Savannah.
Yep. Yep, so here comes in Savannah. And let's see what he goes for next. I see, is that Glacial Chasm?
Yeah, that's Glacial Chasm in his hand.
And for those who don't know what Glacial Chasm does, it's kind of a trippy card for a land. It doesn't make any mana, and it has cumulative upkeep. You lose 2 life, but creatures can't attack you while it's on the battlefield. And
no,
creatures can't attack.
No.
Or no, all damage you is reduced to 0. That's right.
Creatures you control cannot attack. All damage that would be dealt to you is reduced to 0.
Right.
And it's actually very funny because AJ Soccer, when he was staying at my house for DC, we were out to dinner and he was telling me the story of, so he was playing our no-show deck, right? And his opponent is playing lands and, is dredging Life from the Loam and, flip, hits Glacial Chasm and goes, thank God, cast Life from the Loam, return Glacial Chasm, put it into play, sacrifice the land, say go. And AJ has Emrakul on the battlefield during this time, and AJ's like, oh, well, yeah, he's got me. The thing is, the guy actually just got AJ. Because AJ could have just attacked and annihilated 6 of the guy's permanents.
I remember reading about when this deck was really popular last year, and the other thing about Glacial Chasm is you have to sacrifice a land when it comes into play. Correct. So you can be attacked, you can attack, but you don't take any damage. And with Life from the Loam, you basically never have to pay the upkeep on it.
Well, with Life from the Loam and Exploration.
Right, because you can play the extra land every turn.
Right.
In the meantime, Blake played out a Master of Ethereum here, pumping all of his guys up. And it looks like Blake is out of cards. There's no Tezzeret out. And his creatures are big, but if Adam
finds a way to get a Tabernacle, then...
Well, how devastating really is Tabernacle at this point? Like, Blake can pay for all of his creatures.
He has Pest,
a Master Mirror Enforcer, and 2 Springleaf Drums plus 3 lands. I mean, Blake can just pay.
I mean, Adam hasn't really done anything here. He's played 3 lands and a Life from the Loam.
Yeah. Now, that Glacial Chasm is going to be a bigger problem, however. He can play that Chasm and just start sitting on it.
But the problem is he has no way of getting ahead.
Right.
So he's going to keep putting himself further behind when he chasms.
I mean, he has to sacrifice a land, but he can sit on it for several turns, right? I mean, it's cumulative upkeep 2 life, so, he can buy 2, 4, 6. He can buy 3 turns with it, probably.
Sure. But at that point, he needs to have the game locked up.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, he has to find Exploration, because he already has Life from the Loam going.
Right.
So if he can... Okay, so he taps his Savannah, and looks like Crop Rotation's coming.
No, it looks like he Life from the Loam's back the Savannah.
Oh, okay, I got it. So he's played the Chasm, sacrifices the Savannah, making it so Blake's damage is reduced to 0. Adam cannot attack now, for whatever that's worth. Could be relevant if there's Tezzeret involved, but yeah, now Adam just Loam's back. That Savannah. And passes the turn. Alright, and Blake draws. Let's see what he sees. What he needs to find is Tezzeret. If he can find a Tezzeret here, he's going to be in really good shape. Oh, that is not a Tezzeret. And now there's not much he can do. He just has to pass the turn. All damage dealt to Adam is reduced to 0. Almost makes me wonder if the Affinity deck could be sideboarding Wastelands, or if that's something that it could potentially do in the future if it wanted to deal with the lands deck. Brandon Beard on Twitter points out that you were advocating using Blood Moon in your latest Stars to Games article, and certainly looks pretty
Yeah, that would be
here.
pretty filthy against this board position.
I mean, against Blake, it's not that good, but against Adam Kai, like, Blood Moon shuts off his entire deck, and it's not a whole lot you can do about it. Does he even have the
basic forest?
Yeah, he does have a basic forest.
Yeah, okay.
Just one. His only basic land, basic forest.
So I guess he can, Crows and Grip the Blood Moon, but he has just 0 outs to Magus.
Yeah, that's going to be rough for him.
Stone none.
He's got an Oblivion Stone in the sideboard.
Let's
got
not
me.
Be
Ridiculous.
Got me.
Alright, so... Alright, Adam Kai cracks a fetch land here. Going to go find a land, continue to build up his reservoir of mana. And that chasm is putting him in a good position for a couple turns as he just pays the upkeep on it. And Blake McCracken is...
Oh, is this Knight of the Reliquary? Intuition.
Okay, so now he's going to get triple crop rotation, or
no. He has Life from the Loam. He can get Tabernacle.
We can get all 3 lands he wants.
Tabernacle, Wasteland, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The issue, of course, is just once again that...
I mean, it's either Tabernacle, Wasteland, or triple Exploration. Or actually, just altering Knight of the Reliquaries.
Triple Exploration might actually be really good here.
It's either...
What did he get? Looks like, is that...
It looks like Explorations.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, too. Hey, I feel like you have to get Exploration, because now he has Life from the Loam Exploration, right? So now I can just go Infinite on Glacial Chasm.
Which Exploration would you like me to have, sir?
I'll give you a choice. So he takes Exploration into his hand, and Adam is in a really good position. So Blake basically has 56 cards that do nothing right now.
And 4 cards that still win him the game on the spot.
And 4 Tezzeret Ancient Bolts. If you can draw one of the Tezzerets, it's really going to be huge.
Win the game, suspend 1.
I mean, even if Adam plays Tabernacle at that point, I don't think it's going to matter. So Blake has to find Tezzeret. He's on a 4-outer right now.
Let's just make sure that Tezzeret does what we think it does.
I'm pretty sure it's lose life. I can't imagine it would be. Does Glacial Chasm reduce non-combat damage? It just says all damage, right?
Yeah, it definitely says damage. It doesn't mention, for example, your life total.
But I'm fairly certain Tezzeret is life loss.
Loses X life, yeah.
Loses X life. So.
Just doing our due diligence.
Yep. So Adam deliberately playing, being very careful about what he does. Looks like he's going to cycle Tranquil Thicket. And just to clarify for everyone what Glacial Chasm does, give you the exact Oracle wording.
Cumulative upkeep 2 life.
Yep, and when it enters the battlefield, you sacrifice a land. Creatures you control can attack and prevent all damage that is dealt to you.
Right.
That's what it does. So,
definitely does not protect you from Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas.
What does?
Really just nothing.
Although worth noting, out of Adam's sideboard, 4 Leyline of Sanctity does a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, no. That card seems real good.
Yeah. McCracken has no answers to a turn 0 Leyline of Sanctity.
Wow. Just absolutely none except attack him.
Right. So, especially after sideboarding, if Blake can't pull out the first game, it's going to be rough. I didn't quite catch what Blake drew here.
Not Tezzeret.
I think if it were Tezzeret, it would probably be on the battlefield already.
It would be like halfway across the room. He would have just thrown it on the table, and Adam would be like, "What's that?" Oh, it's across the room.
That was the game running away from you.
Yeah. And we'll up it.
We'll see what happens now. Blake thinking, trying to figure out what his outs are, what his situation is, and he knows. I think he knows he has to draw Tezzeret or bust. Adam Kai takes another turn to draw and get even further ahead. He just has to assemble the right cards. So, let's see. It looks like Adam's hand is Mishra's Factory, Life from the Loam. Yeah, he got the Loam back. And...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Joe.
And yeah, so Adam moves his graveyard closer in so we can put it on screen here. See exactly what's going on. And yeah, Adam's deck is just gorgeous. Lots of really cool altered cards and...
Japanese foils. The man really does appreciate the finer things in life.
Yeah, I mean, I know he said he lent Jerry his lands earlier, and I think Jerry's lands are like black bordered.
Yeah, no, absolutely the Nut High Legacy collection that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So,
I think John Donovan might have him beat, but it's really close.
So Adam cycles Tranquil Thicket and redredges that Life from the Loam. Just what the lands deck does, you just draw so many cards with Life from the Loam. It's insane. A draw 3 for 2 mana, you get to cast every single turn. Sometimes twice or 3 times a turn. You just have to build your deck around it. That's
you just have to play the best card type in the game. Yeah,
Right.
what a rough life.
better than Blue Instant.
It's really close. I love me an exploration.
Some decks don't need lands.
Yeah.
Artifacts pretty good too. All right, so Cabal Pit
Get sacrificed.
to bring in Glacial Chasm again, and it looks like he's going to tap down Blake McCracken's lands, and I think that was a Thought Cast. No, maybe it wasn't. I saw Thought Cast. Nope, that's Champion.
Protection from everything, not Glacial Chasm.
Yeah. Blake McCracken can have all the Progenitai he wants. It's not going to do him any good right now.
Yeah.
So Adam Kai just chooses to pay the upkeep on Chasm this turn, paying 2 life. And can just, that way he doesn't have to spend a lot of mana sacrificing a land and putting Chasm back into play. He can just take this time to get a little bit ahead. And he has basically all the life points he wants to play with.
Forest, crop rotation, life from the loom.
Yep. And Adam has plenty of life to play with here. Looking at a hand of 2 life from the loam, so 2 draw 3s for 2.
Card is very good.
Yeah, I played a lot with life from the loam. It's one of my favorite cards, and it is so powerful. It's just insane. It can recover you from hard game states. It can put you further ahead. It can be an engine. It can do so much. First PTQ I ever won on the back of a life from the loam seismic assault. Such a great card.
Yeah, just 1 and a green, deal 6.
Yeah.
No biggie.
He's always got back tranquil thickets. Those good times.
Oh, there's the Tabernacle.
Oh no. Yep, Tabernacle. Adam Kai is looking at a pretty good spot here. Once again, I think Blake can still win it if he finds Tezzeret, but his window is closing. His deck is not giving him the 4 outer he's looking for. Let's see.
I mean, Tabernacle is basically just the best Rishadan port ever, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
against
pretty
Affinity?
good. It's pretty good at being a Rishadan port, especially once Wastelands get going. And that's a Mishra's Factory? Is that 2 Mishra's Factories?
Yeah.
Okay. Really nice altered Mishra's Factories. All right, he draws. Is it Tezzeret? Doesn't look like it. He put it in play for free. Doesn't sound like Tezzeret to me.
It's a Memnite.
Pass back. And probably going to see Glacial Chasm sacrificed here. Yeah, it gets sacrificed. And Dredge Life from the Loam. And then Cast Life from the Loam. Bring back
Glacial Chasm, Tabernacle, and something else.
And then play the Tabernacle and Glacial Chasm and just get so far ahead. It's worth noting something interesting Adam has that I don't think a lot of land players have is the Worm Harvest, which means that he can just win with that too.
Yeah.
If the game goes long enough, you flip the Worm Harvest, you retrace, you get a bunch of tokens, and then you pass the turn.
You untap, you sacrifice your Glacial Chasm, and you get them.
Yep, and then you attack, and then you can replay the Glacial Chasm just in case they have some kind of trick, an Angel Song or all those popular Legacy Fogs.
Yeah. I mean, Engineered Explosives seems like the most likely Legacy Fog against Worm Harvest.
Yeah, I mean, nobody Cryptic Commands in Legacy, I suppose.
No. Sadly not.
Maybe we could, though.
Worm Harvest, eh?
Yeah. Worm Harvest, indeed. Another one, a card I like to use. It's such a good inevitability card in these Rocky decks. Or in a lands deck.
Yeah. So there's the Tabernacle.
Yeah. And now Blake puts a reminder on top of his library. He doesn't accidentally want to lose his board, trying to be so excited to feel Tezzeret.
A quarter of the time, that card is actually just Wrath of God.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Yeah, when I was playing Legacy at Grand Prix Chicago, we considered just cutting our 2 Wrath of Gods in our blue-white deck and playing Tabernacles instead, simply because you just put it out there, and a lot of the time it just wraths them.
You're just like, land go, and they draw their card, and you're like, your board's dead.
Yeah, it's true. You could just like casually drop it into play, and suddenly that's it. So Blake going to pay for some of his creatures here. I'm sure he's going to leave 4 untapped, 4 mana untapped, so he could cast Tezzeret if he draws it. And he's going to save the creatures that he cares about the most if he doesn't have enough mana to save them all. Alright, so pays. Leaving will... Oh, not totally certain. Blake is still
Adam's
thinking.
just waiting on that port. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me when the Tabernacle triggers resolve.
And yeah, Adam is holding that port in his hand, waiting for Blake McCracken to make some kind of error.
Can I port ya?
Yeah, exactly. So Blake's still thinking. I think you have to leave 4 mana untapped because every turn with Tezzeret is crucial. If you draw it, you have to be able to play it. The worst would be drawing your 1 outer and then not be, or your 4 outer and then not being able to cast it. And he doesn't need all those artifacts anyway. All he needs is 5 artifacts so we can drain Adam for lethal. And he even has 5 artifacts without any of his creatures. Granted, then he forces Adam to not use Glacial Chasm, but at this point, the Glacial Chasm is more of a formality than anything else.
I mean, here's the thing. Can't you just upkeep all of your guys until you peel the Tezzeret and then slow roll it a turn and then just, draw it past and then not pay for your guys the next turn? Well, just keep all of your equity around?
No, I just feel like the extra turn is so important because Adam can get to Wasteland, and then if he starts Wastelanding your lands, you can't cast your spells.
Yeah.
I mean, you just want to be able to play Tezzeret when you draw it.
That's fair.
I think every turn here is going to be important. Although you also do want to keep some of your creatures untapped to Mishra's Factory, blocking any Mishra's Factories heading toward your Tezzeret.
Sure. Oh, that's a Tezzeret that Adam's holding.
Ah, Tezzeret.
Where'd that one come from? He just cast it.
He cast on top of the blue tape, says Rashad. And that's what he's looking for. Blake's going to go +1 impulse. So Blake has Adam dead next turn. And he's getting a Frogmite, going to play the Frogmite as a blocker. How many Mishra's Factories does Adam have? He has at least 2. For some reason I think he has 4, but he might only have 3.
Yeah, this might just be, Blake getting his card in the 1-turn window that he really had.
Yeah. I mean, he's been trying to draw it. It was a 4-outer.
Yeah. There's only so many times you can fade 4-outers.
But I'm not sure how many Mishra's Factories Adam has. We'll see. Adam also has access to a Cabal Pit in his graveyard, which he could Life from the Loam back, play, and kill a Frogmite blocker. But we'll see what happens here. So now Adam's the one thinking. He's kind of on the back foot now. It went from being... Adam just concedes.
Yeah, must be.
I mean, they're picking up the cards, and I don't think Blake conceded there. So, yeah, Blake McCracken picks up the first game. Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations. Found the Tezzeret in the window he needed to find it. Crazy, crazy stuff.
That's magic for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're in our first game's finished here in the quarterfinals, and we're going to give away 3 months of premium during this match. Get your hashtags ready. Hashtag SCG Premium. Type it in Twitter, and we're going to ask you a question, and we'll choose one question out of everyone or one answer of everyone who responds with the correct answer, and then win 3 months of SCG Premium. You're not going to want to miss this. So let's see. Here's my question for you guys out there. There are 8 decks in this top 8, obviously. Unsurprisingly, there are 8 decks in this top 8, not 9, not 7. But there are only 7 different archetypes. Which archetype was repeated in this top 8? Tweet us the answer, and you can win 3 months of premium. Which archetype is repeated twice in this top 8? If you look through the deck list, all the deck lists are up right now. They were just posted on StarCityGames.com, so you should be able to go see all of the top 16 deck lists. There's a hint. Shouldn't be too hard for you to find. In the meantime, Blake McCracken took the first game. It was looking grim for him, and then he found the card we were talking about, Tezzeret Agent of Bolas. That is what this matchup hinges on entirely. Tabernacle Pendervale did not do what it was supposed to do there. Glacial Chasm did lock him out of attacking, but Tabernacle, not good enough. Seen Piccone on Twitter. He loves how every one of Blake's opponents has had to read Tezzeret.
Yeah, no.
It's true. We've seen Blake in 2 different feature matches now before this one. Both times Tezzeret was cast. The opponent picks it up. It's like, well, I know it's this new Planeswalker, and I know it's good, but
what does it do again?
Does its ultimate really do what I think it does in your deck? And the answer is yes. It kills you. You're dead.
Jerry won. Yeah.
2-0.
So for everyone out there, report from the back tables, Jerry Thompson defeated his opponent, avenged his earlier loss. His only loss between the 2 days today was to this green-white deck. And he defeated Chris Elrod's really cool green-white deck. We will not be seeing Chris further in this tournament. Jerry advances to the semifinals. And Jerry has to play the winner of this match, so you're going to be seeing who Jerry is going to be fighting. It's either going to be Blake McCracken, who's currently up a game with his Affinity deck, or Adam Kai with his take on the Lands deck. Really interesting take on the Lands deck by Adam Kai with neither Reliquaries, no mana bonds, fewer lands, more spells. Really interesting. Earlier, we actually saw Adam Kai get mana screwed with his Lands deck, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, a little bit embarrassing.
So how do you think the players are going to sideboard here, Drew? We were talking about this earlier. Do you think he's bringing Pithing Needle? You said is really good against lands. What about Thoughtseize? You think that you bring that in too?
I would bring it in on the play, but not the draw. I'd bring Relic of Progenitus in on the draw. I might actually consider Aethersworn Canonist also. Alex Bertoncini is out of the top 8, having lost.
We cannot have the Alex versus Jerry dream. James Lance playing Ant defeated Alex Bertoncini, and will go on to either face another Merfolk deck or a Junk deck in the semifinals.
If Blake wins this, I really actually like Jerry to win the top 8. Given the information that we have,
I mean, I think it'd be insane if Jerry made repeat performance. That'd be crazy.
I mean, just no one can actually do better than first place in both, right? We haven't had that yet.
I mean, he did lose a match.
Oh, okay.
To be fair,
wow,
that's also be ridiculous.
God, he's real bad at this.
Not a perfectionist. Like Jerry said, so coming into day 2, he just won the tournament. He sits down, and the judge makes the announcement. Players with 2 buys will be coming in after round 2, such as Jerry Thompson. If you sit across from round 3, be warned, he's running hot this weekend.
To which he calls from the back tables, yeah, just this weekend, right?
Yeah. And he's been running pretty hot. So, do you think he does not bring in the Thoughtseizes in this matchup? Jerry comes by.
Yeah, no.
Gives a high five to Drew 11. So you think Thoughtseize is
yeah,
not
no. Thoughtseize is definitely not on the draw. Aethersworn Canonist. The reason why you might want that is because if you can only life from them once a turn, then there's only so many ways that you can actually get ahead. I remember I brought Aethersworn Canonist in against Loam decks in really old extended, and actually set them pretty far behind in terms of what they were able to do.
And then, so on Adam's side, well, I will just go over this real fast. He definitely brought in Ley Lines of Sanctity to beat Tezzeret, Cross and Grip.
Didn't have any in his opener.
Yeah, but it looks like this game he didn't have any in his opening hand, which seems pretty crucial. Blake McFadden opens on Signal Pass, nothing else again. Adam Kai has Tropical Island, but see what's peeking out in Blake hand all the way on the corner over there?
Which?
Blake's hand.
Is it Tezzeret? Oh, what a filthy master.
All right, you gotta be a little quiet. Make sure.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm not screaming the cards out all the way over there.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he had 2 black mana to pay for that Tombstalker.
Yeah.
If you don't get the reference, earlier. So anyway, it looks like Adam Kai is crop rotating here. Are we going to see Tabernacle?
Tabernacle.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
All right, this is going to be a rough one for Blake McCracken. But once again, with the Tezzeret, like he doesn't necessarily need a lot of creatures to win this game. He can just be like, all right, fine, I'll let my Signal Pass die, play Tezzeret on a 4.
I mean, he can just like upkeep his Signal Pass, like play a land, play another dude, upkeep both dudes.
Right.
Play another land, play another dude, upkeep. Let all of I guess probably not let all 3 of them die. Like play a Springleaf Drum or something and get it in there on 3. Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Like I feel like you want to get some damage in.
All right. So Blake does choose to pay for the Signal Pest, and is now considering his next play. plays a Vault of Whispers, and tapping the vault looks like Pithing Needle. Okay.
So what do we name?
What do you think you name here with Pithing Needle? Think you name Wasteland?
Mishra's Factory.
Mishra's Factory?
Mishra's Factory. You have inevitability if you name Mishra's Factory.
That's what I was thinking too. What's that? What do you name?
Name's Wasteland.
I think Wasteland is still defensible because if he keeps you off your lands, it's going to be really hard to win.
That's
especially,
fine. I mean,
your,
the thing
your
is, he
colored
basically
sources.
has 8. Like, he has Wasteland and Rishadan Port to keep him off of his mana. I would worry about defending your Tezzeret, unless he has a second one. If he has a second one, then it's just the Stone Cold Nuts.
And there's the port, which is...
Right. So, like, awesome. Named Wasteland, still not protecting my mana.
And plays that Exploration, so he can play 2 lands this turn.
So it's Wasteland and it's that Cabal Pit?
I couldn't quite make it out. It also looks like it's a creature, right?
Right, it looks like a black creature.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some sweet alterations and stuff, but...
Alright, so, yeah, it ports down another land. There's a second Darksteel Citadel for Blake McCracken.
So if he has...
There's another Signal Pest, okay.
If he has a Mox Opal or a Springleaf Drum, that... he basically needs 2...
and he attacks Adam Kai for 0.
Ah, cheeky.
It's almost like there's a Glacial Chasm in play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about... I'm interested to see that he played that Signal Pest there, because I thought he'd just hold it, and then when you play Tezzeret, you untap, and then you just drop a bunch of artifacts into play on the turn, you ultimate.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
But I guess that's not what he opted to do here. I mean, he can start getting in for 2 points of damage, which is not irrelevant.
Right.
Especially if that Rishadan Port is going to keep Blake's lands tapped.
I mean, until he hits Glacial Chasm, might as well just clock him. I mean, it's not like you have 10 artifacts, you have 6. Like, if you just put him on 12, then he's just dead.
Right.
Like, you want your Tezzeret Ultimate to kill him.
Yeah, it's very important Tezzeret Ultimate kills him. It has to be lethal. But yeah, I mean, the Signal Pest, I guess, if they're attacking, if he deals 2 next turn with both the Signal Pest, then that's 1 less artifact you need for Tezzeret. So that seems fine. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Still can't make out what that. I'm gonna Rashad. Can we get? There's like a land that's on top of the tropical island right now, all the way to the left. Can we find out what that is? Yeah. It looks like a creature to us. We can't quite figure out what it is. Rashad's gonna check out what that black card is. He crop rotations it away. Oh, Volrath Stronghold. Okay. Yeah, someone altered Volrath Stronghold to make it more black, look like a creature. And so here comes crop rotation. Are we gonna see? So crop rotations from Misty Rainforest. Interesting.
Huh.
Just wanted to
Max value the life from the limit that's in his hand?
Yep.
Does he have one?
I don't know if he does, but also he might just want to trade in for another colored source. I don't think he had a white source.
Sure.
Which, if he's trying to cast Night the Reliquary, would be what he's looking for.
No, he wanted to max value his life from the loam.
Yeah, that's also totally reasonable. Life from loam, I guess we'll only have to... I think is it only a draw 2, or does he...
Yeah, it's a draw 2, because he's crop rotation twice, and there's no wastelands, and he hasn't fetched any other time, so yeah.
I guess we'll just play a 2-mana draw 2. Adam... Alright, drops down Misty Rainforest, drops down a land slightly off screen, sacks that Misty Rainforest. Getting another land, and yeah, the lands deck is just slowly building up. Adam knowing that Blake's out his Tezzeret and trying to make sure he can't play to that. I don't think we'll see that Rishadan Port get tapped here. Because I mean, like, he could cast the Reliquary if he had it or something. Yeah, he just passes.
Untech.
And so Blake pays for both the Signal Pests, so he can get in for 2. And Adam taps down Blake's third land. And yep, Blake's in for 2. It's 1 Signal Pest. Adam takes 1.
Huh.
And doesn't look like Blake has a 4th land, which is going to make things really rough for him here, especially if Adam just dredges into a wasteland. And
Tabernacle still out?
Tabernacle is still on the battlefield, making those signal pests cost quite a bit. And yeah, Blake has to find. I really need to find another couple lands here. He really needs 2 more lands to start doing what he wants to do, which is play Tezzeret. And there's another Reliquary from Adam Kai sitting in the top of his hand there.
Well, if he just had Heart of the Cards, and he drew a deed off the top without copy.
Looks like Life from Loam. Okay, bringing back Misty Rainforest. And getting back some fetch lands. And Full Wrath Stronghold, sure. Plays the fetch land in the Full Wrath Stronghold.
Full Wrath Stronghold.
Indeed, Full Wrath Stronghold. Pretty cool in a deck with like neither Reliquaries and an Eternal Witness you can just get back.
Yeah.
Harnesses a lot of power. I mean, free-buying Eternal Witness every turn is nothing to be sneezed at, and having an unkillable Knight, unless they Swords it, is really strong too. I don't think a lot of players were leaving in their Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile against Adam Kai, but I mean, with those Knights, like, what are you going to do against them, you know? Right. Especially when the default removal spells are, you don't want to load your deck up on default removal spells. Alright, so there's a seed of the sign out for Blake McCracken, so he gets the blue mana he needs, and now we can Thoughtcast and draw 2 more cards. So there he goes, he Thoughtcasts. Draws Blinkpath Nexus, and can't quite make out what that other card is. He can serve in for 2. Gets Maze, making it only 1, dropping Adam Kai to 15. And then Blake is going to pass the turn. So now, here's the deal. Blake has Tezzeret in his hand. Adam Kai has to do one of a couple things. He either needs to find a wasteland here, so he can... Yeah, there's the wasteland he was looking for. He needs to wasteland that seat of the Synod to keep Blake off of Tezzeret. If he doesn't wasteland for whatever reason, Blake can cast Tezzeret next turn, which is going to be brutal. But it's going to be a big issue.
See you in, maybe in Boston, actually.
Yeah.
Great to have you on camera, Drew. Thanks for coming in, and take care.
I'm off.
See you in LA.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in LA.
All right, take care.
Flying home now, Drew. What? Flying home now.
I can't make the announcement yet, but I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, Drew Levin has left the building. But not yet. Wait for it.
I had left the booth close enough.
He's at the booth. Take it easy.
And AJ Soccer also going with him. And there goes Misty Rainforest, cracked by Adam Kai, continuing his lands advantage as the lands deck tends to do.
Nice tropical island from Adam.
Let's see. And taps 3. Here comes Neither Reliquary. Puts it nice on top of his deck to make sure to remember everything. And Blake untaps. So he didn't get wastelanded. And he's trying to figure out how he's going to pay. I think you just pay for 1 of the signal pests to leave it as a blocker and then cast Tezzeret. But I guess that Rishon Port really messes with you too. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can go Tezzeret. But you can just tap the blue source and keep Blake off of blue mana.
Right.
Yeah, he just has to pay for the single pest, I feel. Yeah, and then he ports down that. Or maybe you just hope to rip Seed of the Synod. I don't know. It's a risky proposition either way. And there's Blinkpath Nexus. Okay, well, Blake had an Ornithopter in his hand. I think maybe just let your pests die and just go for Tezzeret and then play Ornithopter to block that Neither Reliquary next turn. So he plays that Ornithopter. He's just going to plays that Cranial Plating. Now, the plating is going to be good for a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. If Adam doesn't establish Glacial Chasm. How do you think?
I have no idea. I mean, like,
Alright, never mind.
use
So,
like a password or something.
So, let's see. Looks like Adam mazes 1 signal pest yet again, taking 1 damage. Adam's.
Cranial plating's, I mean, like you said, cranial plating will be good for a lot of damage.
I mean, cranial plating will definitely do some damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? So +9. But Adam Kai has Mazavith.
Oh, it's true.
So unless Blake can gain access to a second black mana to re-equip the plating at instant speed, I don't think he's going to do a lot.
That's right, he doesn't have a second source.
Yeah, I mean,
you can do that at instant speed.
I mean, that Wasteland's going to crush Adam. I almost feel like you just have to try and go for Tezzeret there and hope to peel the land that you need, because I think that was your one-turn window. Now Adam's going to start wastelanding you, and you're just not going to ever have the opportunity to get anything online. Adam picks up cranial plating to read it.
Pretty rough time there for Blake.
So yeah, and Adam manages this massive pile of lands. It does what the deck does pretty well, which is establish a lot of lands. Let's see. Trying to figure out what's in Blaine's hand. He keeps putting it down. All I see is that Tezzeret over and over, and all the possibilities that it entails.
He's just dreaming of the things he could do if that Rishdon Port wasn't out. The Wasteland isn't helping things. All these lands are pretty nasty against him. He managed to get it done game 1.
Let's see, another reliquary. So for those just joining us and seeing this game state, trying to figure out what's going on, I'm Gavin Verhey here with Big Head Joe, and we're bringing you live coverage of the Star City Games Open Series here in Dallas, Fort Worth. On your right, Blaine McCracken, quite the board of double signal pest, ornithopter, cranial plating.
Oh, that's right, you can't waste something because of needle.
A bunch of Pithing Needle on Wasteland. Oh, that's why I couldn't Wasteland. I almost forgot that turn 2 Needle shut it off. So a bunch of lands. And he's playing this Affinity deck. No Ravagers, no Arcbound Workers, but Tezzeret and Agent of Bolus at the top end, which has been key. He managed to win the first game against Adam Kai, who's playing lands, by finishing off with Tezzeret. Adam Kai playing a new take on the lands deck. He's got neither Reliquary, only in quotation marks 35 lands. And right now, he's got neither Reliquary in play, Exploration, a ton of lands, including Rishdon Port, looks like 2 Maze of Iths, and a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. It's keeping Blake's options limited every turn. It is as confusing of a board state as it looks, ladies and gentlemen. And for Blake, it's even harder trying to figure out what his game plan is here, how he's going to win. Now, especially now that Adam can get whatever lands he wants off this Neither Reliquary. So Blake looks over, figuring out what he wants to Rishdon Port. Alright, so he ports down Blinkmoth Nexus, preventing that from attacking. And Blake draws a Frogmite.
I mean, he can keep playing creatures, but each creature is just becoming a mana liability. I mean, I don't see where he'd be able to like overwhelm Adam with, with his creatures right now.
Yeah, I mean, just the double Maze of Ith is going to be a huge problem. I mean, I really feel like Blake's endgame is just Tezzeret. But I mean, I understand that the Knight's going to be a problem. I understand that you can't afford to lose your Tezzeret either. But I don't know if playing more creatures, which is going to tap your lands every turn, is really the answer. All right, Maze is the other one. Yep. So Signal Pest gets mazed.
What land did he just search up with the Knight?
It's unclear. It's too much glare on Adam's sleeves. I can't quite make it out. Huh. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, they're just playing the slow, grindy game right now. Blake keeps committing more creatures to the board. Adam is, has the game in control with that Knight of Reliquary and a lot of lands.
These are multiple mazes.
There's Life from the Loam bringing back more lands. Croson Grip, Mishra's Factory, Croson Grip flipped by Adam Kai off that Life from the Loam dredge. And I think this might be the last match going in top 8. And Lands is a slow one, so we could be here for a while, especially if Adam wins this game.
It's looking like his to win at this point.
Yeah, I mean, now he has double Knight of Reliquary. And, is he just serving in? Blake looks through Adam's graveyard, figuring out exactly what's going on. Let's see. All right, so, what do you, if you're Blake McCracken here, what do you think you do? Everyone out there on Twitter, I'm kind of curious to know, what do you think you do if you're Blake McCracken? Obviously, you're way behind on the board. You have to figure out a way to deal those last 12 points of damage somehow. Trying to deal with Maze of Iths, Tabernacles. Yeah, so Adam cracks in with both Knights of the Reliquary and then uses a trick to Maze of Ith the Knight of Reliquary after they attack, after they've dealt damage, to untap them, essentially get free attacks out of them. Blake McCracken now sitting at 8 life. And I don't know, Blake is not looking so good for him here. What's he gonna do with his creatures now? He's going to pay for them. He's just gonna try and go for Tezzeret, but I think Adam still has mana untapped. Yeah, he still has that Rishadan Port untapped. Maybe you just have to go for it. Maybe you're like, I don't even know. It's hard to know what to do here. Yeah, I think maybe you tap the Nexus, activate to pay to keep one around. He'll tap one of your colored sources, then you have to draw the other colored source to cast your Tezzeret. I think that's the play. And then you Tezzeret, you have to go +5, find a creature to find another creature to block. I'm not sure if Adam has any Mishra's Factories or not. I know he dredged some into the graveyard of Life from the Loam. I don't think he's any in play, though. Yeah, I think you have to pay 1. So he looks like that's maybe what he's going to do, pay for one of the Signal Pests. All right. Yeah. So Blake untaps his land. He thinks about it. He's trying to work it out in his head. I mean, once again, I can't see all of Adam's lands, but I'm pretty sure that his out is he just keeps one Signal Pest alive, plays one of his lands gets tapped, he plays Tezzeret, gets another creature to block, but blocks both Knights. And then, here we go. So he pays 1, keeps the Frogmite. Adam's going to tap either his blue or his black source, and he has to draw whichever one he doesn't tap. Or whichever one he does tap, rather. And Blake knows what's going on.
Yep.
Let's see if it's there. He has Mox Opal. Oh, that was Memnite. That's not what he was looking for. There's a Memnite. He can use it to block. You can give it a Cranial Plating, maybe. I don't think that's even going to be enough to trade with the Knight, though.
Probably not at this point.
I mean, Tabernacle of Pendraveil is Nokataki's War's Wage, but it still really keeps Blake's mana tied up. And he counts up how big that bonus is, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, +7 +0 bonus on the Cranial Plating, and then a +1 +0 more if he taps the Blinkmoth Nexus to activate itself. So he can make that Frogmite. That's what that creature is, right? Frogmite.
Yeah.
A 10/2, but with all the lands in Adam's graveyard, I have no idea if that'll be enough or not. I guess those knights can't be 10s, otherwise Blake would have probably been dead last turn. But all right, so Adam searches away 2 lands, neither without query. Thanks to untapping them with Maze of Ith, he got to activate both of them on his end step too, so he gets to attack and activate them with it, which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
It's a really neat interaction there.
Wow. Well, what an intricate matchup. This is really interesting. Like, both players have to take a certain line of play and figure out what to do to win. Good old lands. All right, and Blake finally is like, I've had enough. I concede. And we'll be going into game 3 here. And Blake's going to be on the play this time. And if he has an explosive draw with Tezzeret, it could be pretty hard for Adam Kai to win. Tezzeret there would have been really good for him. And Tezzeret in the first game was the one in the game. So I think fast draw with Tezzeret is all what Blake's about. Now, on the other hand, if Adam Kai puts Leyline of Sanctity onto the battlefield, he can't be Tezzereted out. The question is, did Adam board in his Leylines? We didn't see any that game, even including the dredges from Adam Kai.
Right.
And we'll see if either player reaches for their sideboard here. And when Drew Levin was back in the booth before he left, he said that he felt like Blake should board in his Thoughtseizes on the draw, on the play, just to slow down Adam Kai.
Huh.
So you might see him put those Thoughtseizes back in, but so far neither player has reached for their sideboard. The issue, of course, with boarding in Thoughtseizes, there are just a lot of cards, you can hit that, like, you cast turn with Thoughtseizes, you lose some momentum, and you don't necessarily hit something, or hit something, super relevant. But maybe in this matchup they come back in. But we aren't seeing either player grab their sideboard here. Both players seem pretty content to leave their deck the way it is. Oh. Yep. I thought for a second Adam would be grabbing it, but nope. He just
just sticking with it.
Just writing down his life total. What an interesting matchup. I mean, I think it's certainly a little slow, but very, very intricate. Like, you look at what's going on, and you can see the careful thought processes being made. And the players pile shuffling, trying to make sure their deck is randomized. Yeah, Blake there had the Tezzeret draw, but it was a little too slow. Didn't have it on turn 3, and Blake was able to just shut him down with that Tabernacle at Pendrevale.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
I can't help but wonder if Blake maybe made the wrong line of play. Like, maybe you just let all your creatures die and play for turn 4 Tezzeret. Maybe that's not right. Like, I think Blake has probably thought about this matchup a little bit. He got to see all the deck lists. He knows exactly what's in Adam Kai's deck, all 75 cards. So he's playing against it. All right, and both players are a little weathered. They shuffle each other's decks after shuffling for a while themselves, but neither of them grab for their sideboard, so nobody changed anything up for Game 3.
Sticking with the plan as originally prescribed.
Yep, exactly. And let's see what these players' openers are. Both have seem to be excellent players, and I'm excited to see how this third and final game of the quarterfinals between these guys plays out. So let's see. Let's see a Wasteland and Adam Kai's hand. Let's see Blade McCracken. Let's see Pithing Needle. See Springleaf Drum. Looks like Blake is excited about his hand. Pithing Needle, Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, Frogmite. That looks like he's keeping. All right, here we go. I think this is going to be an explosive draw. All right. Yep, Ornithopter. See the side nod. Oh my, Mox Opal. Springleaf Drum maybe. What else is there? There's a Frogmite involved. Taps 1. Springleaf Drum. Yep. Frogmite. Is that another Springleaf Drum in Blake's hand? And a Pithing Needle.
Oh man.
Just, he can play all 7 cards if he wants on the first turn. Alright, 7 permanents, go. So Blake plays Pithing Needle.
Wow.
But of course,
once
again, he can drop his entire hand, and then all he has is a Frogmite. Like, it's not exactly the most threatening board position ever. Right. It's kind of like the extended affinity deck. You just drop your hand so fast, and you look down, and you've got like a 2/2 Tide Hollow Sculler and a 0/2 Ornithopter, and wonder what's happening. So he opts not. So he names Wasteland again, shutting off Adam Kai's way to beat up on his mana.
And that seems, Adam's, I think, drew like double wasteland, so
Yeah.
that seems pretty good.
And Blake opts to hold on to his last card. Unclear what it is. I thought it was another Springleaf Drum, but it might not been. Alright, so there's Mox Diamond, which is going to accelerate Adam Kai up a turn. Probably discarding Wasteland here, I'd imagine.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I don't need colorless lands.
If by any chance Karsten Perry, Dustin Webb, or Nagi Hassan are in the room, could you please
Let's see.
that stage real
He's
quick?
got a Maze of Ith he can play, and yeah. Oh no, just plays the Wasteland. No, he doesn't want to show off that maze before he has to.
Seems about right.
And he Life from Loam back, casts Life from Loam, returning. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, checks to make sure he can make green mana. And he casts Life from the Loam, getting back a land. Get back Wasteland. He chose not to get back anything.
Yeah, he just cast it. Yeah, he just cast it and probably leave it in there to dredge.
But he didn't return his Wasteland?
Nope.
Interesting. Why would you not return your Wasteland there? To pump up your Nether Reliquaries? I guess that kind of makes sense.
Seems to make sense.
I guess you don't need that Wasteland anyway if you have enough lands.
You can't use it.
And was that a Master of Ethereum Blaine just cast? Or Blake just cast?
I don't know if he... Does he have the mana?
I thought that's what it is under that Pithy Needle, but I couldn't quite see it.
Looks like it might be.
Well, I mean, it definitely played a Memnite.
No, under... That is Master of
That's
Ethereum.
Master of Ethereum, right? Wow, that's a good start for Blake McCracken. That's exactly what he's looking for. And this time he looms back. Adam Kai might not have fast enough of a start. This is looking to be quite a bit of damage here for Blake McCracken. Let's see, he can serve in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage. Another Master of Ethereum?
Wow.
Is that lethal? I think that might be lethal.
I thought you said, is that legal?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, that too. But I think that might be lethal damage. I haven't done the math, but I think it is. He's got Maze for Master, sure. All right. Well, then it's definitely not. But it's lethal next turn. Blake is representing lethal damage on Adam's turn, and even Tabernacle Penderveil, I don't think is going to do it because he can pay. I think Adam has to have Glacial Chasm here. If he doesn't have Glacial Chasm, Adam is done for. Adam said he liked his chances in this matchup, but pretty quick start here. I don't think any of those were Glacial Chasm. Could this be it? Blake, you can tell Blake's getting a little antsy. He's like, do you have it? Do you not? Like, Adam could also have Croson Grip potentially.
That was an explosive opening draw.
Yeah, crazy opening draw. I mean, Adam could also have Croson Grip. Looking down a sideboard list here. Yeah, I think Croson Grip is the main thing he could have here. I mean, maybe... Yeah, he can't really expose this for 3. Yeah, he's got that Mox Diamond, which you can give him a green mana. But yeah, he has to find Glacial Chasm pretty much. All right, Adam's thinking. All right, it's a Wasteland, not a Glacial Chasm. And he concedes. Yep. Blake McCracken.
Wow.
Hand clap there for me. That was quite the match to watch. Intense. Game 1. Blake rips Tezzeret Agent of Bolas in a 1-turn window after he's been drawing for a 4-outer for several turns. On his last turn, pretty much he finds Tezzeret, uses it to ultimate Adam Kai. He concedes Game 2, long and drawn out. Adam manages to get the victory. Game 3, Blake doesn't even need his Tezzeret. He just plays 6 spells or 6 cards on the first turn.
Turn 1, yeah, wow.
Passes the turn.